Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're making a really major mistake right now. What do you ask? What kind of mistake are we making? Well, I believe it's a mistake of not focusing and increasing our relationships with those on our team. You see, here's the deal. I've been doing a lot of trainings lately, and all these trainings have been on Zoom. And I've noticed something very peculiar over the course of time. Number one, when we hop on Zoom, nobody really talks to each other. In other words, there's none of that chit-chat that typically happens before a meeting starts. Number two, our meetings happen to be very focused on productivity. What can we do as we get in? How quickly can we make it go? And how quickly can we get this meeting over with? Now, that's been good for a lot of companies. In fact, if you look at some of the studies, they show that we've increased in productivity anywhere from 15 to 22%. That's remarkable. If I sold a product that could guarantee you an increase of productivity by 15%, I'd be a millionaire right now. But the problem is, if we sustain this working from home, this Zoom environment, I believe that we're going to run into a place where our teams will start to fail. They will fail because of a lack of relationships that are being built within the team. I'm seeing it already, and that's why I'm doing this video right now, is with the teams that I've been working with, some of the clients that I have, I've noticed that some of their relationships, some of the trust that actually gets built anecdotally across teams are failing. It's not there. And I strongly believe that relationships really are the lubrication to good, strong teams. It's kind of like our business is a machine. It's a motor, and we can't be able to operate very long without any oil. Could you imagine how long you would get if you didn't have any oil in your car? Sure, you could go. You could move. It would actually transport you from one place to the next for a little while. And then suddenly you'll start seeing smoke come out of the engine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm seeing that smoke right now. We need to do something about establishing relationships and increasing those relationships despite the fact that many of us are working from home or meeting together in electronic means rather than person-to-person means. There's a couple of quotes that I just love. One comes from Tom Rath, who's a great researcher, and he said people with at least 3 close friends at work were 96% more likely to be extremely satisfied with their life. He calls it the 3-friend threshold. And what does that mean? That means the stronger our relationships, the more satisfied we are with the work that we do. Another author, Morag Barrett, said, "Few leaders fail because of lack of technical ability. Leaders fail because they do not cultivate effective working relationships across the organization." That is, leaders fail because they don't focus on relationships. Think about it. Before COVID hit, what happened? What did we do? Well, we didn't have to be very intentional about relationships. We would casually meet each other in the hallway. We'd sit down and have lunch with each other in our break room. Some of us would grab each other and go on a walk during our breaks. We'd talk a little bit before a meeting would start. We'd hang around a little bit after a meeting would start. There were lots of opportunities for us to be able to have these anecdotal kinds of conversations with each other, to get to know each other on a personal level, to understand what's going on in our personal lives. But we don't have that anymore. That is, we don't have it unless we're intentional about it. I believe that right now, we must be intentional in developing opportunities to strengthen our relationships with those on our team. That might mean incorporating something within our Zoom meeting. That might mean scheduling intentionally in our agenda on whatever meeting we're doing to be able to just get to know each other, to spend time casually talking with each other, to be able to do different kinds of team building activities that can happen across a Zoom or electronic type environment. It means that maybe we're scheduling meetings during the week where we have no agenda, just simply an opportunity to check in and see how we're doing. Guys, honestly, there's a whole lot of different opportunities and a ton of different ideas. I'm going to put in the comments of this video some resources that I've been able to find, in addition to some websites that I think you'd find very helpful in trying to understand how we can intentionally build our team and strengthen the relationships within our team, even though we're doing it through electronic means. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is extremely critical. We really are screwing this up unless we stop and become intentional about developing these relationships as we continue along this new normal of meeting virtually. That's my challenge to you. I ask you, I plead with you right now, in fact, to make sure that you take some time and think about how can we continue to foster and nurture our relationships on our team despite the fact that we're doing so virtually.